and having a passion for what they do. For more information about their services or to discuss an upcoming project, visit www.ironhideconstruction.com or call 402-420-4961.
NEPCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEPCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEPCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Without a strong IT partner, your business ends up overspending, underperforming, wearing too many hats, complicating your work, and more. Applied Connective Technologies can help with experts in every facet of technology. If it plugs in, powers on, or charges up, they're your people. Imagine being able to call one team for all your technology solutions rather than a village of vendors and providers. For all your needs in managed IT and cybersecurity, phone systems, physical security, infrastructure, and audio or video, head to appliedconnective.com to better your business today.
Play ball! Tired of the same old routine? Then bring your crew out to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. Enjoy action-packed home games all week long from May through August. It's the perfect change-up to the typical family night or makes for a home run outing with friends and coworkers. Experience the magic and get in on the excitement. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets now. Unleash the fun.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Time for a new AC? Call Bryant. Get rebates now and lower operating costs every day. For comfort and efficiency, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family night? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement.
Strike three, you're out!
Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and they need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to the UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin games. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska.
Going over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. Once again, Harrison runs on the ones and twos. This is the Don't Punt Hour. We got the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in. If you guys want to join on the show, as like I said earlier, we will not have the College World Series on the airwaves tonight because it got rained out already, or at least postponed due to impending weather. I think we got through the worst of it here in Lincoln, but obviously up in Omaha, a concern. So that one will actually take place tomorrow morning. You will get Kentucky versus Florida to find out who will be playing Texas A&M. So again, quick programming notes there, but we will have the Kansas City Royals when they do start up tonight. But in the meantime, we got the Don't Punt Hour with DeMornay Pierson-El. How's it going on this rainy Tuesday night, man?
Not too bad, trying not to get wet, but we'll take it. As long as there's no tornadoes, we good.
Yeah, that's where we're at this point in the weather. I mean, no tornadoes, we'll call it a win. Unfortunately, no baseball tonight, but if you're out there, blur parties, blur events, they'll still be open, having a good time, weather pending until midnight. And then, of course, get tickets for tomorrow if they're still available to you. They sell out pretty quick. It's awesome. Once you're in there, drinks, food, walking distance to the ballpark, awesome spot to set up. But like I said, you're going to get that next game tomorrow morning instead. But let's stay on sports here with the topic of basketball. And the NBA Finals winner, Celtics do it. They get number 18 to go back to being number one in terms of the franchise with the most NBA titles. The Lakers got the Mickey Mouse one to make it 17 tied. Celtics won up one since 2008. They get their 18th. Thoughts on the Celtics hoisting up the 18th franchise NBA Finals trophy?
Congratulations to them. They took care of business throughout the whole series. They were in the driver's seat. Tatum finally, had a game where he showed up, but they handled business. They got things done, and congratulations to them.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Tatum. I'll give him credit. It crept in my mind. I was like, maybe he is the Finals MVP.
No,
he finally put together a solid game. But I think if you look collectively as a whole, Tatum led in more points, rebounds, and assists, but not by much. And when you look at the shooting numbers, you definitely lean towards Brown. So I thought Jaylen Brown was still probably the most obvious MVP you could have out there, Finals MVP. But it does make me think, should they change that award a little bit? This is just because Tatum didn't win it, but for the playoffs MVP, or do you like it just Finals MVP?
I think the Finals. You can't award somebody who didn't make it, to the show. Just because you were in the competition, we don't give out participation trophies and whatnot. You don't stake a claim to have that trophy. So I think how they do it, either one or the other of the last two teams to get it. And I don't think they should change that.
Yeah, it'd be more like the stipulation you still have to make it to the finals, but instead of just looking at Tatum's finals numbers, Brown's finals numbers, we look at throughout the entire postseason play.
No, because I feel like once you get to the finals, the other stuff don't matter because that's the end goal of it. So regardless of what you did to get there, you still didn't conquer anything. I mean, you got one more step to to getting things situated and whatnot. So you can't make it easier or make it more participative for all sides. No, it's the finals for a reason. So you get there and whoever shows out and takes over and whatnot deserves it. And just because Tatum shows up one game doesn't in my book qualify for him to get it because you were the best that game. What happened to other 4 games beforehand? If Jaylen Brown wasn't doing what he was doing throughout the whole series, they might not have won, period.
Yeah. You sold me with the first comment is like nothing really matters like before that point. Once you're at the finals, this is it. So you sold me with that one right there. And I think even if you wanted to do it the way that I'm proposing here, and by the way, this isn't my original thought here. You go onto those Celtics bulletin boards, they're trying to find a way to get that award to Tatum. But even then, I think if you take the playoff averages, you probably still go Brown. I mean, Brown deserves a lot of credit. I mean, I haven't seen a comeback season as great as this one from Brown. It's not like he had a bad season last year. It's not like his numbers were bad, but he came into this playoffs from Series 1 with Miami Heat all the way to the NBA Finals. He was never the weakest starter out there in any matchup situation whatsoever. I mean, can you name another player that flipped a switch this significant to where their postseason play was just more consistent than anything we've seen, even with their regular season play? Because he was on a different level, and everything he was saying gave you the mindset that he was locked in for this, regardless of whatever the media was going to say.
Not off the top of my head. I would have to think about that one a little bit. My mind kind of wants to go with Dwayne Wade. Yeah. That is his first year winning the championship with Shaq. He was, a different dude throughout the season, but, he became the Flash that playoff run and took over. That's when he got on the little scoreboard and, rewrote a lot of things. So he's the only person that, that I could think of. Another person that necessarily I feel like went off and he just ran into LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals would be Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose did everything in his power to get the Bulls to the finals, but you got LeBron James that you had to go through, and it was always, between the Bulls and the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Final, and they just couldn't get over that hump. But Derrick Rose was a different animal. So those are the only 2 players that I can think of when that question was asked and just popped into my mind off of first thought.
I got a couple more for you, and this is weird, and we'll have to dive into this as we're talking about the Celtics as a whole because it's very weird. It's maybe not surprising, but they really did it with a group of role players. And we'll talk about where does Tatum and Brown rank in top 10, but they might even sit outside of the top 10, but they put together the best regular season record. They run through the playoffs, only losing 3 total games.
I got a question for you, too.
All right. Well, let's first, guys, that came to my head. Dirk, obviously, being the number 1 seed for the Mavericks. And this is where it's different because these are star players.
Yeah.
Tatum and Brown are, but not to that level. He goes from losing in round 1 to the next year locked in, runs through the West, says LeBron James and crew in those finals. I mean, that was the most personal agenda I've ever seen and commitment out of a player. The other guy, Giannis Antetokounmpo, figured out how to fix his free throws live on the spot in the NBA Finals. A different time window, but he fixed his biggest criticism in the middle of an NBA Finals series, which to me is just incredible. I mean, that's like I was telling Chance of Brewington when Hack-a-Shaq was alive. Shaq just one game said, you know what? I'm going to shoot 80% from here on out, so I'll take it. I mean, it was just absurd how Giannis figured out how to hit his free throws. So those 2 guys, Giannis very different because it's in the middle of a finals, which ranks it high. And then Dirk, just a monster run after getting eliminated as a number 1 seed. What's that question you were itching to ask me?
You said ranking Tatum and Brown, and you said they might not be on the top 10. Are you ranking Jaylen Brown above Tatum though?
The battle.
Who are you taking first?
I'm still taking Tatum. I think I'm still going to take Tatum. Because in that last game, that was masterclass. That was what we were expecting.
So one game?
One game in all the regular season. Are you taking Brown?
I'm leaning towards that way. When you look at it, regardless of being on the stage, and you can look at the first series. I mean, the first couple of games with Tatum. I don't know if he was in his head.
Yeah.
But he wasn't necessarily playing well, and I don't know if the moment was too big for him or whatever. I don't think we had. I mean, of course, there's been times where we say, we need more out of Jaylen Brown, and I feel like there's a debate to say he might be more consistent than Tatum, and he might be more of a key piece than Tatum with Boston.
Yeah, definitely wasn't smart like some people are worried about. I know Marcus Smart.
We can look back at, all the times that they have went to the Eastern Conference Final or the finals and everything like that. I think the first time they were in the finals, I think Tatum played a little bit better. But I don't think Brown has ever really let down or disappointed. So I understand what they're trying to make Tatum the face and stuff and everything like that, but with all that being said and whatnot, he kind of shied away from the moment, and Brown really hasn't. He hasn't fallen off. He hasn't had, multiple games to where Tatum has. So is that actually just a one-off, or is that, his typical thing? Because if you look back at some of these big games, I'm not saying he disappears, but he hasn't been as consistent. So which one would you rather take with them, on the same level and everything like that, with knowing what we've seen and whatnot? Are you taking Tatum just because of the superstardom and the season stuff, or are you taking Brown, who was right there, did the same thing, and honestly probably has been a little bit more consistent and rose to the moment?
It's close. I don't know if there's a wrong answer. It's really close. Like, let's just go through these guys, because with Tatum, you would almost, like, if you switch these guys as roles, their numbers still just might flip exactly with the positions, because Brown's always been more sharpshooter, more consistent, better efficiency. Tatum's also been the guy that's stirring the drink, taking more shots, taking more of the higher difficulty shots. But let's just use this series. So for this series, this is what Jaylen Brown averaged with about 40 minutes to play, 37 if you want to be exact. He still averaged about 24 points a game. He'd give you 6 assists and give you 6 rebounds, 3 assists, along with the steal. That was these playoffs this year. Then you go to Tatum, pretty damn similar. 25 points a game. He was going to give you more rebounds, almost a double-double, 9.7 rebounds a game, 6.3 assists, and also the steal a game. The efficiency, the only difference, Tatum about 42% through this year, and Brown 51%, three-point percentage. Brown sitting about 32%. Tatum with an ice-cold 28% from the three-point line. Whoever takes more shots is going to have the numbers that Tatum has. I mean, those guys are right next to each other. I'm still taking Tatum because of the rebounds, because he can almost average 10 rebounds. That's very vital to me. I don't know if there's really a bad decision with either guy you go with, but I think the best decision is you keep them together because they work so well.
That, and I mean, the only thing with you just saying that, okay, well, maybe they're feeding, Tatum the ball a little bit more because it may be a height advantage. So to take those shots and everything like that. But if Tatum is fouled out or hurt or anything like that, it changes, the dynamic of what Brown has to do and must do. We've seen it on multiple occasions of him jumping, of him, doing what needs to be done on the offensive side and the defensive side. Not to say that Tatum can't or anything like that, but maybe he doesn't have to wear that type of hat all the time just because they push it or force it through Tatum instead of forcing it and pushing it through Brown. But I feel like Brown showed that it can go through him. He can dictate. He can take over a game if need be through this series. And I mean, not only this series, but this playoff push. Because I know there was a couple games with the Pacers that he wasn't. It's been maybe about 3 games throughout the playoffs that he maybe I wouldn't have said had an off night, but it wasn't what he was typically putting up. But the next night, he's 25, 30 points. I can't say the same necessarily for Tatum.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting when you watch next year because you might see some of those plays change up when we get to postseason play. Depending on what the regular season looks like for those guys, they're not going to split them up. Makes no sense before. Now, after they won it, that conversation has to be out the door. But those two guys work so well together. It's like, I don't know how much they care. The first thing I noticed with Tatum yesterday after they won it was he looked like the happiest guy, most overwhelmed with emotions out there. I think he knew in his head that finals MVP award, despite a good performance, was not his. Did not seem to faze him at all. I mean, the team, I know we've talked about it. I know some Celtics fans are already worried about what does that team chemistry look like. By all means, just body language wise, it's not going to be a problem. Now we can speculate who's going to be the guy, but I really I don't think Tatum or Brown maybe has an argument more than Tatum, but I don't think Tatum's going to be too hesitant to sacrifice some of his role if it means Brown gets a shine, especially when you got all these other great role players, because that's kind of how they won the whole damn thing, was having multiple guys at every position. Shout out Al Horford being one of those guys that could score and give you 15, sometimes 20 points in a night. Do you see this team chemistry wavering at all next season? Because the Bucks will be healthy, the Knicks will be healthy, Pacers are only going to get better. This was the cakewalk of cakewalks I think you could get. Injuries happen. It's not an excuse, but it definitely helped the Celtics out in this scenario. Next season, Celtics, do you still think that's the powerhouse in the East?
I don't think it messes up the chemistry or anything like that. If anything, it eases everybody's mind in that building and has them relax, like, all right, we already got one. Now let's see how many we can get. With going forward with next year, I think these teams that might have lost, to them and everything like that, that were hurt and everything like that, know that they can keep up with them at full strength. So next year it's like, okay, we know we got their number. We know we can compete with them. Let's just get healthy, and duke it out. So I think it takes the stress off of Boston because they needed to get one. And if they don't, on paper, they have one of the better teams assembled. So the pressure's off of them. Now the only thing that you can criticize, Boston is, well, Steph got 4, Clay got 3 or blase comparing rings and whatnot. So they're entering that to continue to build their status and their resume. Everybody else in the East is looking at them as like, we have enough to beat them. We just need to be healthy. We don't, struggle with them or haven't had problems with them. It's just, we had our own problems with in-house, with being hurt. New York, the Heat, Jimmy wasn't there and everything like that. And for whatever reason, the Heat have Boston's number, at least when Jimmy plays. So
he was not playing. They get a game when he wasn't playing this year. It's insane what the Heat do.
So I think the Heat has been put on alert to where the West probably isn't as dominant as we thought. Because as we've seen Denver get knocked out. We've seen Minnesota, who was looking like a hurricane coming through the West, and you see they got sat down and whatnot. So the teams in the East are going to have to go through Boston, but I think they feel comfortable with what their matchups have and what they have in house to do the job and to push Boston's limit. So it'll be interesting next year once everybody gets healthy and if everybody gets to the postseason healthy and whatnot. It's not going to be easy winning back to back. It's not easy getting back there. So we'll see how they handle things.
Favorites next year in the East, and this will decide how long my rant is on your answer.
I want to know what New York is going to do. They have, Randall that's still there. We don't know necessarily what's going on because it was Randall's team, but the guard kind of came in and
Brunson took over.
So I'm anxious to see, what that is. I'm high on the Knicks. I like the coaching staff. And I'm anxious to see what the Heat do with adding more help to with Jimmy. If Jimmy gets somebody he can play with or a two-way guard or something like that, and they pick a couple more pieces up to help with their bench and whatnot, I think the Heat are going to be a problem. So it's hard to pick, but I think the 3 top teams probably, or the strongest teams, just what they've done this past year, I would say the Heat, Celtics, and Knicks. So I think it's going to be one of those 3.
Yeah. No Bucks. They
No.
surprised me a little bit. All right. The Bucks.
You got Doc. Like, I'm not.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not. What's the definition of insanity?
I don't know. Repeating and hitting
doing the same thing, expecting something different. No, I like Doc, but for whatever reason, the Bucks had a championship team. You had a championship coach. You moved those people out of there. You let go of Holiday and whatnot. They're kind of in a rebuild because Doc's gonna want to get away from that. So I don't know what pieces will be moving or whatnot. I understand Giannis. I know Middleton's there and everything like that. Hopefully, Dame comes out differently next year, and they kind of, we see what he was in Portland there a little bit. But you would have to show me first before I just throw them in the ring with that.
Yeah, I'm actually with you on the Bucks. Even though I kind of said it surprised, it's Doc Rivers. Almost forgot about that, which was hard to believe. And then it's also, I felt like all the best pieces they moved away from the coaching to position guys. We just saw Holiday. He wins a ring with the Bucks. He goes to the Celtics. He wins a ring. Clearly an awesome matchup problem you can throw at any team out there. And they were able to just move on from him. But that being said, the reason I asked that question is the one thing about this Celtics team that if you are a Jason Tatum or anybody on that roster, this year almost is going to be bitter because historically, regular season, postseason, collective record, this is one of the best teams in history. If we're just being real looking at record, they sit there on the throne. But because of the way the East broke out, because of the way how it was the Mavericks in the finals, it wasn't the reigning champs, the Denver Nuggets. I mean, this team, I feel like, is going to be criminally underranked. Where does this Celtics team stack up? When you got the 18 championships before them, they're the 17 before them, they're the 18th. I mean, how great is this Celtics roster? Do you think it's going to be appreciated in real time or one of those things where criminally underrated?
I think they are really, really good, but you have to take in account of all the other teams that were hurt that they didn't face.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't face teams at full strength. So you rank them, but I don't think you rank them as high because they weren't really battle tested.
Yeah,
I mean, they weren't. It'd be different if they faced, Denver in the finals and whoop Denver in 5-6 games. But you didn't. You faced an inconsistent Mavericks team, and we said it. I said the Mavericks are going to go as far as long as they are consistent. If they're not consistent, it's over, and that's exactly what happened. So, I wouldn't rank them in the top 5. The back end 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe somewhere in there. But just because of you can't look at their artwork, and it's not their fault.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just what the cards are dealt. Regardless, that the strength of schedule. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. They got played the cards that they played, which is fine. They dominate those cards and whatnot. But you also didn't have those teams at full strength, and you might have lost two games instead of an average of 1 in every series.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting where they fall because I'm right there with you. I don't want to throw their regular season. I mean, you lose 18 regular season games. Incredible. I think
awesome.
Three or 4 home games all year.
Not taking anything away from that at all.
But do you take away because
the playoffs.
That's the question, right? Do you take away from that, even though it's not? They have zero control, but we're going to take that, and that's going to rate in history.
No, where I'm taking away from is their playoff run. So let's just say they start off at 6 instead of 5. 6, their playoff run. Well, who did you really play in the East? Like you had a cakewalk, and the fact that you lost, 1 game to the Heat without Butler is a head at home is a head scratcher. Like I'm not looking at you, terribly. Honestly, you lost one to Indiana. You lost one to Indiana at home. They just didn't take care of business. I know that you can't not look at that. So it's kind of showing what loss. You said they lost 18 at home, or they lost 3 or 4 at home.
Regular season, they only lost 3 or 4 at home. It might be 4.
And throughout the playoffs, the ones that you did lose, more than likely they were at home. So we moving you from 6 back to 7 and 8, maybe just because. These teams weren't at their best, and you still lost one. It's not like you swept every team up until the Eastern Conference Finals. No, you lost one when honestly you probably shouldn't have.
That's the part. That's where I hang my hat on. Is like they didn't dominate the way you'd expect. They still dominated. They barely lost games at all, but it was like sweep them, dominate them. With this regular season record, I expect nothing but a sweep. So I'm not going to rank them like too hard for it because, like you said, they don't control the injuries on the other side. But also, if it's the Denver Nuggets, I don't know how that series turns out. Now, the Celtics still may very well win it. I like their odds a lot better against the Timberwolves, against the Mavericks. I feel like the Nuggets matchup-wise, it goes for about every team out there. That's the toughest one to stop, unless you have a Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. I think the Celtics, especially with Porzingis not being healthy, that'd be tough. But it's just going to be a weird season to remember in history for the Boston Celtics. I mean, it's a good problem to have. You won the damn thing. You get number 18. You're over top the Lakers once again if you're a Celtics fan. I mean, that's bragging rights in itself. But a tough team to rank historically, especially because you got 17 other former champions on that Celtics franchise. One quick fun note here, a little bit of trivia for you before we get to our next break. At 35 years old, Joe Mazzulla is the youngest coach to win the NBA title since, can you guess the other coach? He used to play for the Celtics as well. Obviously, coach
Larry Bird, probably, or Bill Russell.
Boom, Bill Russell, which is crazy. So Bill Russell is also the youngest coach ever to win an NBA Finals title until we had Joe Mazzulla this year at the age of 35. And when Bill Russell did it, it was the same age, 1969, when Bill Russell was 35. He also would be the youngest head coach to win an NBA titles. There's a lot of weird numbers going on yesterday for the Boston Celtics. You can do a whole deep dive on it, but 617, that number pops up everywhere. With that being said, though, we'll go ahead and throw it to break. We'll talk some NFL, maybe some college football if we have time for it on the other side. Dump Punt Hour with the morning Pierson-El, the host as always. We'll talk to you in just a little bit.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for The Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relieved. The team at The Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
The weather is hot, the kids are out of school, and you're on your way to the lake and summer road trips. Are you getting to your vacation spot comfortably, or is your car letting you down? Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride for summer road trips and beyond. Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Be sure to check out the top-selling Recomp. Recomp helps build lean muscle and strength while decreasing body fat. Recomp is ideal for men and women of all ages trying to look their best. Recomp can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Vershawn Jackson, the captain here for The Body Shop. And man, did they hook me up with a great massage recently. The captain has a lot of stress in his life, as many people do. And for 1 hour, it was all relieved. The team at The Body Shop gave me a deep tissue massage that hit every area that I was in pain at. Whether you're looking for a Swedish massage, sports massage, deep tissue, hot stone, aroma, or more, there's only one place to go. The Body Shop at 48th NA. Book an appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. Once again, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. We got the host, DeMornay Pierson-El, the former Husker wide receiver, special teams threat on the Starter Heyman Jewelers video stream. You can put a face to the voice. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and as always, Allo, channel 961, 402-464-5685. If you want to put any comments in before we switch over on the brick and mortar, because like I said before, we will have the Kansas City Royals taking over once that game starts. But I did tease NFL. What are the 49ers doing with Ayuk? We'll just start there.
Trading them.
What's your thought process on this? My first instinct is absolutely not. That is the last thing they need to do. If you're the 49ers and you're putting on that hat, explain the reasoning behind it. Like, what's the real...
Clearly, what he think he's valued at or brings to the table, they don't think it matches. I understand they got... I think that offered him $26 million a year.
Mm-hmm. 26.
Which I mean, still a lot of money. But I mean, when you in California, I mean, cut that in half. So that's I'm all for people getting their money, but they are in a predicament, and I don't know. Well, I do know. I think, between them and the Bengals, I think they're definitely in a worse situation. At least T. Higgins signed his franchise tag. I don't think they franchise tagged Ayuk, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they did. So this is probably, his last year probably in a 49ers, uniform. They might trade him, at the end of training camp. I've seen it happen before. That'll probably be the next window before you see anything, goes down. He might be at training camp, staying in shape.
He's not. He's
but training camp starts in
Oh, okay. Yes, he's not at mini camp right now.
Yeah, no. Mini camp should be over, or they should be wrapping it up. So I mean, he'll report to training camp, but I mean, he'll probably go there. He won't, go through, the plays or practice or anything like that. He'll work out, be situated until they can find, a suitable team for a trade, and that trade will probably come at the end of training camp. Sometime that first week of September, whenever that last week of training camp is, and they make the initial rosters and everything like that, be on the lookout for him to be traded. Probably just on the outside looking right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna definitely go get it. His value is gonna be insane because his stats right now. Yeah, so last year he's coming off 75 catches over 1,000 yards, 1,342 yards, and 7 touchdowns on top of it last season. And we got some people out there in the front window. But yeah, just a hell of a year for Brandon Ayuk coming off his rookie contract. Sorry, I got some hometown friends in front of the window there, distracting me a little bit. But yeah, rookie year, he's coming off that, and that's why this is to the forefront right now, because he is coming off that rookie contract. What are some good suitors for him? The Cowboys pops up to me right away because they have assets. They have the financial cap space to make it work. They're obviously going to have to move some pieces around, but you take a little bit of the pressure off of Dak Prescott's shoulders. I don't mind seeing him down in Dallas.
That will be good, but you have 2 receivers still in the same position because you got CeeDee Lamb, which is going to demand something. I wouldn't say a Justin Jefferson. Mm-hmm. He's going to be, number 2, number 3. He's going to be wanting that type of money. So, I mean, you could get Ayuk and move off of CD and kind of move CD around, or because I'm not sure who got franchise tagged with the with the Cowboys. So it depends, because if CD got franchise tagged, then he just signed, a 1 year tender deal, and then after that, I mean, they won't have to pay him, and they can move on. But I mean, you're bringing in the same kind of problem with what they already kind of got there. But I mean, it wouldn't be bad. CD plays pretty much, slot and the field receiver. Brandon Ayuk pretty much plays the boundary, the X big body kind of receiver. He can play. I mean, he can play all 3, but he's typically in the boundary. So if I'm him,
the Cowboys haven't franchise tagged anybody. So that's what I was trying to find there. So this is one of the first off seasons they haven't.
Buffalo would be a good place for Ayuk because he can go there and be day one, the number 1 guy. I mean,
no question.
You match him up with Curtis Samuel. I think that's a good 1-2 punch. I've been seeing people say, the Commanders, but I'm not so sure. They got their 2 kind of 1-2 punch with Doxson and Scary Terry. So I'm not sure if that kind of messes things up. And I know, him and the quarterback that they just drafted played in college together. I don't think that would be the best fit place.
I was thinking the Buccaneers, but you got, you still got Chris Godwin, Trey Palmer. You don't want to mess that up, so you're probably staying away from that one. There's not, because a player of that caliber, you're going to need to find a room that needs a wide receiver, and that's why the franchise tags. I think they'd be the
Cardinals would be good, but they're not going to trade into the same division. You have a young Marvin Harrison and Ayuk. That tandem only boosts your wide receiver room with your franchise quarterback there. So I think that would be a good landing spot, but I don't think they're going to do that at all. At all. Who's in Tennessee? Well, Tennessee still has D-Hop there, so that's probably a no there.
No,
Jacksonville would be a good spot.
You know who your quarterback of the future is going to be. That's figured out. So you got him
and Christian Kirk. The only thing there is if he goes to Jacksonville, he's not going to get a big time deal there because they got Christian Kirk for I think $70 million. I think, and he'll be on his last contract year with that. So I mean, again, another situation where you got to kind of pay. But I think the number one landing spot will probably be Buffalo because there's a need for him.
Yeah, I think the Buffalo Bills might be the best fit.
Mm-hmm.
There's absolutely a need for him. Cap space wise, you just depleted a lot of room. I mean, you're going to have room for him there, just depending on capital, what you're going to have to give up to get him down there. That's why I threw out the Cowboys, because there is room where they can give up a lesser asset, help the 49ers out with that cap space issue, but still get something in return. There isn't, just because of the caliber of player it is, there is actually, when you get a player of this level of talent, it's always kind of interesting to figure out, especially division-wise, it's not going to be the Cardinals. And yeah, with the Jaguars, Christian Kirk, it's set to expire 2025, and that was a 4-year, $72 million deal. So there's not a whole lot of room left in there. Wiggle room, that is. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think we'll find out, pretty quickly which team he's going to end up landing on. He's not going to be a 49er. If you were the 49ers, though, do you figure this out? Do you get him to the table and you just say right there, like, we are going to get you what you need to stay here? Because they already fell short. Losing him really. They
fell short 3 times. I mean, 3 times. Like, you paid Christian McCaffrey, which is not, I get that.
Yeah, that one.
Danny, that's your cowbell and everything like that, and whatnot. But I mean, you showing your true cards. Like, we like you, we don't like you enough. 26 mil. I mean, they're going to go off of numbers and, well, you didn't do, like, they're going to give you for every reason in the book for them not to pay you, top value. Devontae Adams, I think, broke the wide receiver at 30 mil. I mean, D-Hop was 29.5. Tyreek Hill was 29. So, I mean, is he of that caliber for, that extra 3 mil? I mean, they're clearly saying, no, you're not. So, I mean, I'm not so sure, what necessarily, your deal is going to be. You might have to, you might end up getting, or he might end up, be looking for a AJ Brown type of deal, a Terry McLaurin type of deal, DJ Metcalf, type of deal, to where it's like, I think it was the Christian Kirk, it was like $72 million or something like that for 3 years or something like that.
4 years, $72 million deal.
I mean, and that's kind of, you are tier 1, but you're tier 2. Like, you're not Devontae Adams, you're not Tyreek Hill, you're not, Stephon Diggs, D-Hop. Like, they're kind of, you're not Jamar Chase, you're not, Justin Jefferson, but you are in that next tier. And like I said, AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, and DJ Metcalf all have pretty much the same deal. If you look at their numbers, it's the money is just about the same. I think I think AJ got the most money with $100 million, but they gave him that money in more of a signing bonus. So that's not counted towards his yearly deal breakdown. It broke down to the same numbers as the Terry McLaurin deal, which I think was like 72 mil or 75 mil or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think that's his bracket range of where he's going to get placed at. So, I mean, that might be, 28. It might be 28.5. I don't know exactly how much a year those guys were getting. Or the guaranteed money might have not been right. They offered a $26 million deal, but what was the numbers? It's all about, how much guaranteed money am I getting? And he may have felt like he wasn't getting, his portion and what, he felt, which is and we've seen that before with Chris Jones with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like, he was getting his money. He sat out and, it took them to training camp to get things done and situated. That was the reason why Tyreek Hill got traded. Because the guaranteed money wasn't where it was. He felt like they were taking advantage of him and what he brought to the table. So it might be one of those cases to where, the guaranteed money isn't where Brandon feels reassured and feels like he's a priority or, a piece of what they've built.
Yeah, you're definitely right about Jones, and thank goodness, they finally gave him his money because you probably can't name anybody better at that position. I mean, it's very clear he's needed. Currently in the league today, if you want to go through the history books, but I mean, Jones is second bar to none, at least what it feels like in recent years. But yeah, but that being said, it's going to be something to watch. Where does Ayuk landed? Just kind of based on the conversations you're hearing. Doesn't feel like they're going to come to an agreement anytime soon. So probably going to be on the move. Who knows where that team lands up. But somebody's going to be more than happy to accept Ayuk because he is still a great young wide receiver. But we're going to have to wait and find out where that is. Don't go anywhere. This is the Dump Punt Hour. We got DeMornay Pierson-El streaming in. The host, as always, Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Don't go anywhere. We got one more segment on the other side.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting.
What you doing, Greg?
Efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
If you're looking for a pre-owned tractor to upgrade your operation this year, you'll find a wide selection at your local Landmark Implement. We'll work with you to find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you. All backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. During the month of June, get financing as low as 3.9% for up to 72 months on model year 21 through 23 wheeled 8R tractors. Visit landmarkimp.com to see our complete inventory or stop by your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Have you been accused of a crime? Is your liberty and freedom at stake? At Liberty Law Group, we are committed to defending the liberty and pursuing justice for those accused. Going to court is stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. At Liberty Law Group, we carry that burden for you. When legal troubles are keeping you up at night, trust Liberty Law Group to fight your battles. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Des Moines Pierson-El.
All right, wrapping things up here with the Don't Punt Hour. We got the host, as always, Des Moines Pierson-El streaming in. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos, 402-464-5685. You guys can comment all night long, as after this, we will have Nuclear Heat. We'll be coming back talking pro wrestling. You'll have Jake Bachov in and possibly Augie in for that one as well. So still plenty left here on Ticket Weeknights. And since we only got a little bit of time left, we mentioned it at the beginning. We talked about Jason or Tatum and Jaylen Brown quite a bit. When it comes to those guys, where do they really sit in the landscape of things? Are those two guys right there top 10 players in today's NBA? And if not, is this the blueprint for teams in the future to just build a team full of role guys, and you don't necessarily need a top 5, top 10 player even?
I don't think they're one of them might be in the top 10. We would have
Brown
to
or Tatum, because that's, we're kind of back to the beginning there. Which one's better?
Probably Tatum's in the top 10, probably. I mean, they drafted well. They moved pieces well and whatnot, around and whatnot. How long has their coach been their coach?
Well, they had Udoka, and then this is year 2 with Joe. So Udoka kind of got that foundation going after Brad Stevens. Udoka.
So my question, does he get a ring? Probably not. Probably
not. No, there's no way they're mailing him one. Maybe a thank you letter.
I wouldn't say that's their. Boston kind of has. You can't copy everybody because different things for different people and whatnot. But their coach put together the pieces he thought that would be good to get him and get them to where they were, and they did. They were successful. They won a lot of games and whatnot. So you have to have a seasoned coach to see things that can get things out of your players to help them get into those positions. So it's hard to say, it's Boston's blueprint, the blueprint, because you had people that got what they needed out of the players to make them consistent and develop them to what we see now. So it's hard. It all starts with, having the right people in your scouting department, or, having the right headman in the building that these kids can, come in and play, or these players that can respect, come in and, and add to things and whatnot. So I think that's the piece that people might take away from Boston is like, okay, we have to identify, they had 2 coaches, and, the coach that they have now, his job was probably a little bit more easier because things were already situated in there, and he's been with the team. They know him, they trusted him and everything like that. But I mean, I think it starts there, and then you can start to, assess players and whatnot.
Yeah, I think you definitely be smart to take a few pages out of Brad Stevens' book, because 2008, you get that last championship. You hit this lull period for the longest time. The Lakers get one. They're back to being number 1 in terms of NBA champs. Brad Stevens ends up going to the top. Obviously, we talked about the Udoka thing for the one quick one off, and then you go to Joe Mazzulla in year 2, everything's clicking already. But Brad Stevens, man, if you're a GM out there, you have to look at what he's doing. I mean, he finds a way to get rid of the Kemba Walker contract, which looked good at the time. Injury prone, you lose a step, especially as a shorter guard, it gets away from you fast. And then you get rid of Al Horford just to get him back in after you realize you made the mistake. You get Drew Holiday. I mean, that is risk management at its finest with Brad Stevens. And even finding a way to get Al Horford back after you realize the mistake that you've made, that he is kind of one of these key guys. And Porzingis being out, you had no idea he was going to be this essential of a piece. But yeah, I think you'd be a fool not to take a page from Brad Stevens' book. Do you have to build it up with purely role players? No, but you can at least get some lessons on how to deal with trades, because he definitely killed that part of it, getting Drew Holiday. It's going to be interesting. Celtics look like the team of the future in the East. Maybe it's the Knicks. Maybe it's the 76ers. But right now, it's definitely Boston. As they, 76ers, hey, trust the process. It's still going on, apparently. As long as Embiid's there, the process is alive. Whether you believe
how long?
Yeah, I'm being honest. The process is about to wrap up here, I think, just like this show. So don't go anywhere. We're going to keep it rolling. Nuclear Heat up next. Jake Bachman behind me right here on Thick Weeknights.